Hello, dear friends of Le Salon de la Musique. It's Francesco Comito here. Today we have a special guest. He's a fantastic musician. He's from Cuba. His name is Victor Diaz Hurtado, and now we will have the opportunity to talk with him and ask him some questions. Please welcome Victor Diaz Hurtado. Hello,
Uh,
Victor. How are
Hello,
you?
Francesco. I'm good. I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for the your kind invitation for this interview and for the concert and everything. The Le Salon de la Musique is. I'm so glad. I'm so happy that we are doing it. Yeah. Thank you.
I am very happy also that finally we had the opportunity to talk with, I mean, to have an interview with you because we already broadcasted your performance of the BC first book of the etudes, and we had not the chance to talk in our live chat, but now finally we are here and we can talk and share our thoughts with our dear friends of Le Salon de la Musique. Okay, dear Victor, what you're going to play now for
So
Sunday?
the tomorrow recital is the second book of the Debussy Etudes. And then this is like I mean there are six etudes. It's just basically two books. I mean, the first one that we had before a few weeks ago, and then this book is just complete the whole set of the 12 etudes by Claude Debussy. Yeah.
But why did you choose to play all the tunes by Debussy? There is a special connection between you and Debussy. You love particularly Debussy.
I think I remember I think I have this special connection with some kind of books that I found or someone gave it to me or someone, as a gift. And this book, it came to me from one of my teachers in Cuba. And I just had I just felt like I had to play this music in somehow. And then there you see helped me a lot. I mean, when I was in Sweden studying there, I started learning the etudes, and the music just re- released so much weight of stress and from my my moment and my there, and I just enjoy it so much. And after that, I just felt that in somehow it's kind of the right music to play for me. Sometimes, like, it's the music that I really want to play, I mean, or maybe the music that I want to play always. Somehow, yeah,
You
it's
like particularly French
yeah.
composer or in general the
Mhm.
impressionistic world?
Yes, yes. I always found so much interesting ideas playing the French composer, especially of course Debussy and Ravel. And I really enjoy the working, just all of these different work with the rhythms and with the colors in the music, and just trying to bring out like a different kind type of sonority from the piano. I think it's just so unique with what we have in Debussy etudes and also in other in Ravel also as well, of course, in another type of maybe different sophisticated way, but it's kind of the same idea or sometimes. And I think that Debussy, I feel that it's really good for the piano. It's like, even though the etudes are completely different from or any other etudes that were written even in this at the same time, like for example, I don't know, almost at the same time with Stravinsky, Prokofiev, or Rachmaninoff, or
Chopin.
any of Chopin. Well, Chopin, it was of course before, and it was actually one of the main inspiration for Debussy to write these etudes. Basically because, and you can find the style in some of the etudes that you if you go back to to the etudes of Chopin etudes, you will see that there are so many connections. But in the case of Debussy, I think I found the most interesting thing to say is that Chopin really gave us like technical difficulties. I think like you can really work on technique, but Debussy kind of play around with that. he write like a etude for the thirds, but in the end it's a etude that you really need to work on so many different type of voicing and bringing out so many lines that actually are just more main thing that the thirds itself, right? When you have very difficult passages with thirds, you just say, okay, but it's actually what he wants, just to put this in a very second level and just bring out more interesting thing with the music. And I really feel like it's also the same idea sometimes in Chopin as well, of course. But they just put like this touch of color, like this different thing or special approach or sonority that is just so enjoyable to
Yes, that's
play.
what makes Debussy
Yeah,
so special, because
yeah,
this is the
exactly.
style of Debussy that is so original, and it's fantastic. Victor, I want to talk about your story. So you are from Cuba, and tell us something about your studies in Cuba, where you've been in your life, where you were studying. Tell us something about
Yeah,
it.
so of course, yeah. I'm from Cuba originally, and I study. I think I did all the studies in Cuba before coming to the States, to Dallas, and I finished my bachelor there. And we have this very good teach- teaching system that basically students start practicing piano since they are like so little, but they start playing like for real, like not, they try to really do their best, and it's really difficult moment sometimes, because you just need to play piano, and you have to really kind of commit to that uh, idea of being a pianist since you are 8 years old. And of course, then you go to the second level, which is the high school level, and there in kind of, you're already a pianist, you're already a musician. You just need to choose what to do. If you want to become, I don't know, you want to continue on the path of the um, to be a classical musician or a pianist, or you can be like a jazz pianist, or any other, in another, just develop your skills, in continue developing your skills in other areas of the or fields of the music itself.
Yeah, this
And
is so
then,
important what you say, that actually kids, they grow up with the idea of becoming a musician and becoming a pianist, and I've seen here, especially in Dallas, where I am now, that there is always the possibility to perform in front of a okay, of course now is a different moment
of
with the
course,
COVID, but it's possible to perform with good instruments, perform on stage, so you feel actually the energy, so you are trained to do this. Doesn't happen everywhere, I must
of
say.
course,
And
yeah.
so we are so lucky here in America. So please, and continue.
So yeah, and then I just did the entrance exams at the University of the Arts in Cuba, and I graduated there in 2013. And then of course, yeah, I have to say that I think I've been lucky in somehow to have also the greatest support from all my teachers since I was a leader, actually, because I had very committed teachers. Like, they will be super supportive, and they will always encourage me to really continue playing and performing. And they nowadays they do still do a lot. That I find all the support in my teacher, especially my teacher from at the university, Ulises Hernandez. He's been like someone that is it has been a role model for me to follow, and to and especially he opened for me so many doors, and he really encouraged me to keep playing the piano. And I really need to say that that's really special, especially like, people are not jealous of what you can get or what you can achieve, they will be always happy that you are actually doing it, and they will always try to make your life easier in order to get this success, I would say. I mean, like, just
Mhm.
being a pianist, I think for me that's a just a or musician, it's just the greatest success in my life. Yeah, yeah.
And have you ever been in Europe?
Yes, I have been quite a few times in Europe. I've been in France, mostly always, piano competitions. That's I mean, I've been in France. I've been in Spain, in Sweden, in yeah,
So
yeah.
did you have the opportunity to study also in Europe?
Yes, I studied for a little bit in Sweden, in the Artisten Academy. That's the music division of the University of Gothenburg, and I have a fantastic teacher there also, Bern Wilhelmsson. I don't know if get that name well, but he was just also super in like amazing teacher. He had like the greatest ideas, wonderful musician, and it really helped me a lot. Yeah, and
And
I had a great time there, I must say. Yeah.
and can you tell us something about the differences you found in this system, musical teaching system in Europe and Cuba and United States? Can you tell us if
Hmm.
you found some differences?
That's really interesting because that question is really interesting. I actually I did find a lot of difference, especially because, I mean, at least in Sweden, the way they used to kind of even grade the pianist, or in doing the exams and everything, they didn't have grades. They didn't will tell that you got A, B, or anything. They were always letting people to do and to be what they really wanted to be, or to play what they really wanted to play. And people were just, and somehow I think I must say they weren't enjoying so much just the fact of playing and performing. And we in Cuba, we have a very strict um, teaching, or like, we have a way of teaching or learning music, and that was such a contrasting war for me. Like, I felt, oh wow. So you feel like you could do the same that you do, but in a more relaxed way.
Mhm.
If that makes
So,
sense.
what do you mean by really strict? Um,
Well, that, I mean, I didn't say much about it, but of course, when we start, like, as a kid, when we start studying at the at the
mhm,
first level of the in Cuba, we really need to be the best we can be. So it's not about just having fun with the instrument or having fun with the music. You really are, in somehow you are encouraged to really
mhm,
find the enjoyment in the music itself, but by doing it in a very serious way.
mhm. This is very
And
important.
it's very important, yes, but sometimes it kind of blocks some areas, in my opinion, my personal opinion,
Mhm.
that we kind of feel a little bit more, like, when you feel like it's never like good enough. And then I think that's sometimes it's not good either, because you know everybody's different and everybody has the opportunity. And then just the fact of learning music, I think I must say, is just something completely different from what we have in real life or in our daily life. And just the fact of being able to play an instrument, to really learn the music in the good way, is already great. I think.
I completely agree with you. Completely.
Yeah, and I think sometimes in Cuba we can be a little bit, I must say, just a little bit too picky about what
It's not
we
all
we,
only in
we
Cuba.
expect from a student. But anyway, after you are done with all those levels of the schools, you are you feel like you learn something important, especially that you commit in a very good way, or just music becomes your life. And I think that's really important. I think that's something about Cuba that I always bring with me, I always have with me, is that passion, real commitment from teachers, from students, to really give their best for the music.
So
And
you are a teacher.
yeah, I was a teacher actually when I finished my bachelor's degree in Cuba, and I stayed teaching at the university. And it was a quite difficult transition for me, because I kind of had like a student who were actually my friends, my great friends, and I had to deal with very kind of this position where you are the teacher, but at the same time you are a friend, and then you don't want to be rough on someone, but you really need to say the truth because you also love that person as a friend. And then you are just the best you can do, but it's difficult. And then um, of course we have kind of a interesting experience there. But I must say I learned a lot. I learned also from that. I learned a lot. Um, and then just becoming a teacher and being in the same side somehow where my teacher and the other professors who were there for many years already, it was something really special for me, like, and a great honor as well, like, yeah.
And tell me, how would you describe yourself as a teacher? I mean, you've been in so many different places, learning from different cultures. And as a teacher, what do you try to transmit to your students? I mean, being influenced with by so many way of teaching, also influenced by your
Yeah.
experiences. Tell us something about your this particular aspect of you.
Well, I think I can answer that question by saying what I would like to become as a teacher. Maybe I think I would like to be a very patient teacher. I would like to really be able to understand everyone who comes to me as a student. And I really think there is this moment where you want to be supportive, and you want to be yeah. And I want to transmit the love and the enjoyment that I feel when I play the piano, basically, or the
Mhm.
music itself. And also to say that there is no an ending line. There is never an ending line. I think you can always rethink about what you do, and you can always play differently, and you can always have the opportunity to just you know even you could also contradict yourself and many times. And so that's the idea. Like, people don't think that this is the end of something. It's just one more step in this long path that is just being
Yes,
a
of
teacher.
course. Teaching also is learning from your students.
Exactly. Yeah. Is You learn a lot. You learn a lot. You don't, even when you think you are just, or you don't feel great maybe, or but you learn a lot. You learn how to control yourself. You learn how to be more supportive. You learn how to really help people. That's the idea that I want. The thing I want to.
Yes, also learning how. I mean, you develop also as a musician when you teach
Of course,
to
of
to
course.
your students. Because, for example, you never thought about some passage, for example, and some student gives you the inspiration that particular moment, and you learn something new. For example, this can be many times. Here we have here our friend Rachid Bernal here is writing here as a teacher is
I,
really rich experience to me because you can learn from your students. Yes, this is true,
yeah,
dear Rachid.
yeah.
So tell us something about your uh, thoughts about your current teacher, about Maestro Achucarro, that we had the honor to interview him last interview here at Salon de la Musique. Tell us something about how did you also, are you also influenced as a teacher by him, or only, I mean, musically?
I think, well, Achucarro is a very, very special teacher, I must say. Maestro Achucarro is someone who will be, he will always give you the best he can give you, and then he will be always so looking forward to teach you what he knows. And that's, I think that's just so unique in terms of, especially if coming from someone with such a magnificent magnificent experience, and someone who have played so many page of the piano repertoire, and someone who has overcome to his own, I would say, his own life in somehow, because he's still he plays, he practice, he's like a someone like is not, sometimes we say like as a joke, like he's not human, you know.
Yes, I don't understand how
I
it's possible.
I say maestro, I really, you know, like, and it's really, I mean, I can't stop being just amazed. I think I can
No,
really be stop, and I've been with him on there already for 4 years, and it always just brings something new for me, something that will make me think about it, will just bring back some thought that probably he told me one when we were at the beginning. And Maestro Achucarro is someone that you sometimes you cannot believe. It's something that you say, how come, how he can do that? It's like really, and at the same time it's really honest what he does. It's really, there is no layers, there is no, he will tell you, he will teach you uh with such a pleasure, I must say,
mhm.
with such a pleasure. Yeah.
The thing that touched me very much is when we had the interview, and he said that I'm not a dictator. With my students,
Exactly.
I try to persuade my student that what I say is actually good for him. And this is
Exactly.
hello, David. Ciao, David. Un abbraccio grande. Victor. So also you try also to learn as a teacher from
Of
your
course.
teachers, and this
Of
is
course. Yeah.
really important. Dear Victor, I want to talk about now your concert. Actually,
Okay.
you already played an online recital, but we had not the opportunity to talk about your feelings, because playing on stage is a different story. When you are on stage and there is the
Yeah.
public, you can feel the energy coming from the public, that this adrenaline of the performance. What is for you to play on for online audience?
Well, I think, um given the current circumstances, we have, I think we are kind of developing a special skill, I must say. Like we are uh, getting just used to play for a camera, and then trying to share that with the world, and then somehow it feels it feels good because you are still able to do it. It's such a great opportunity to share your, you know, what you do with the world. But still, of course, playing in front of the live audience is something that you cannot compare. um you feel really like you prepare, and you will, it's like you prepare for something that will finish in a very special way. And I think we have, um I mean, for me has been, right now I'm trying to play still online concerts as we had now. And by the way, I have also another one in November 7th. And then the thing is, at least for me, what is, you really need to set up your mind in a kind of,
Yeah.
you need to kind of feel that there is a live audience there listening to you.
Yes.
It,
How do you find the inspiration exactly? In fact, how do you?
yeah, you just prepare your mind. I would say that maybe that's what actors do when they go on stage, right? When they say, okay, I need to be this character, so but still I'm not that character, I'm this person, I'm me, but anyway, they will create like this imaginary world when they will say, okay, this is what was gonna happen, and then we just be away from the real world. And that's what I think I've been doing this during this time, like trying to think that there is actually someone, like I'm actually playing for someone or many people who are just listening there and who are enjoying the music I'm making, and just forget about everything else, the camera and the because I think it's something that is difficult to try, because your concentration, the way you express yourself, it will be different. The adrenaline you have is different. The way even you just wake up that day, it will be different, right?
You
Than
you
the.
you you're saying rightly that we are developing a special skill, a new skill.
Mhm. Yeah,
This is very important thing that you said, because now we are in very tough moment and we don't know when everything, this
exactly.
pandemic situation will end. So do you think that now musicians um should actually develop new skills, and actually nobody taught this skill, this thing to us in school? We have to learn from the beginning. What do you see in the future of young musicians
You mean for to just to get
in
this?
general? How
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think that's super important. Of course, there are some people as me sometimes that I'm not very good at with technologies. I somehow, uh, I get the things that I need to do, but it's not like something that comes easily to me. But I think it's a very special tool, and I think also depending of the stage of your life that you are in. If you are like older, and then maybe you need to learn all these technology text aspect of, it's just it goes too fast, I think, because your brain is just not into it hasn't developed the skills to deal with all the newest technologies, information. And then but of course in school, it's also depending on the school that you are in, because not all the school have the same opportunity to have like live streaming or online concert. For example, I'm just know in Cuba, for example, in Cuba there is no that possibility at all. And if school stop, the student, they just miss lessons basically, because they don't have
Well,
this opportunity to really perform online or send my teacher the video about of what I'm playing right now. You might be able to send like a WhatsApp audio, and then of course the quality of the sound is not that good. It's not good, and of course you you kind of feel funny, about that. But anyway, it's a good. I think sometimes, especially if you are young, is good because you get to be a little bit more picky and more careful with what you do. Since you get the time, since you get the opportunity to, how can I say, to listen to yourself, to record yourself, to work on what you do, you really are start being little bit more strict with yourself. And somehow I think that's good. That's good, because you just have a very better way of playing. You will just feel okay, this is right and this is not right. Sometimes, even before this the pandemic, and sometimes people say, no, you should record yourself, so you just listen to what you do. I remember me saying that to some student, and I was doing it too sometimes, and it was really helpful anyway. So yeah.
And Victor, what do you think about learning these new skills in order to continue actually to do what we do, what we are doing, also how to make money, because now it's a very tough moment for, yes, all of the world, but for the world of music, operas, theater, it's really a disaster what
Mhm.
is happening, especially in some countries. And so, what do you think about the new opportunities that online is presenting to young generation of musicians? Do you think it's also important now to learn really fast? I mean, because the situation, the pandemic situation is developing really fast. I mean, to learn these skills as soon as possible, to start and work and promote yourself as a musician, to show your talent, and also to find your public, so you can play for somebody, you can find somebody that will support you. This is so important, I think. What do you think about?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's super. That's right. As soon as you get to know, a little bit of technology and how to deal with all the equipment, is is the best try, because it's really helpful right now. It's just the way we can get to the public, the way we can perform. So it's what it is, and then we really, yeah, technology will always go so fast, and it will always evolve, like twice of 2000 times faster than our brain does, and somehow, although, there is this good part of technology, I'm sometimes kind of scared of just being with this technology, on this technology world, because we start losing contact, like human contact, like good, how can I say, communication skills, and then, that's, I think that's not healthy for humans, and
Yes.
but anyway, of course, it's good to have, I mean, I would say it's good to have technology and use technology, but don't let technology use you, if that
Yes,
makes sense.
this is it's really true what you say, that we are losing the contact between
Exactly.
persons. And but the thing is that I think that we have to deal with it now, because
Of
we
course.
cannot do differently, because this virus is still here between us, and we need to deal with it. And at the same time we need also to make money, to live, because we are
Of course.
musicians, not only for pleasure. We are professional musicians, and
Of
we need the support from our friends, from our public, because life
course.
without music would be a mistake. I always say it,
Of
but
course.
and life without musicians will be a mistake. So it's crucial, it's fundamental, it's really important, the public support in this difficult period, talented musicians, artists, because art gives hope to the world, especially in difficult and tough moments. And in fact, dear friends, I want to remind you that there is the possibility to make a donation for for the next concert, the concert of tomorrow. That you can find it, the link in the description, the link below. You can make a donation and support. Our dear Victor. Here we have a question for you from our Alex, that is asking you, do you have the fundraising practice for classical musicians in Cuba?
Well, I actually don't have the, in for the fundraising practice in Cuba. Yeah, no, no. There is, it's kind of, I would say, hot topic to, in Cuba we kind of, this have somehow this mentality that we do, and we perform, and we learn and we do everything kind of in a free way. And then, of course, it's complicated to
Hmm.
speak about it. But yeah, there are, I think we need like a better or like infrastructure that will kind of support uh, a fund, fund to in order to fund the rising and especially for classical musicians, of course. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, we don't have that. But maybe sometime soon could arise. Let's see.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex, for your question. So, Victor, let's continue with our topic, of the importance of patrons, because all musicians like Tchaikovsky, Mozart, they have Beethoven, they have their patron. It's so important because and also here we have Anna Bulkina that say hello to us.
Hello, Anna.
Ciao, Anna. And here we have also Antonia here that is saying hello to us. Ciao, Antonia. And okay, so
Antonio.
dear Victor, um, what we were saying about the yes,
But,
Tchaikovsky, Beethoven.
yeah,
Yes, there is a link in the description. Also, if you want to subscribe to the Patreon account, Patron of Le Salon de la Musique, you can subscribe monthly and get fantastic benefits. For example, our Telegram service. If you don't know what is classical music, if you want to learn what is classical music, you can, but you don't know where to start, you can subscribe to our Telegram service and receive a small juice, I mean, of a particular piece of music, and with a link so you can listen and start to discover this wonderful world that is classical music. Also, there are other interviews. You can uh, have access to some private chat with our artists. So it's take a look. There is the link in the description. Okay, dear Victor,
yeah,
thank you so much for being here. Thank you
of
so much
course.
for playing for Le Salon de la Musique. I hope I'm sure that we will have another opportunity to talk and share our love for music
Of
with our
course.
friends of Le Salon de la Musique. So,
Yeah.
dear friends, don't forget tomorrow there is the concert of Victor Diaz Hurtado. You can find the link in the description where you can find his CV. You can find the PayPal link where you can make a donation, and also invite your friends to join to attend the concert. And thank you so much, Victor.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
I wanted to add just a quick yeah, like I really enjoy so much all the concerts here in Le Salon de la Musique. I think it's a
Thank
great opportunity, and it's so important for us, for pianists especially. Although I see I've seen like trios and other more chamber music, which is also super important. But I must say, like, thank you to you, Francesco, because it's a great platform, and I really appreciate that you actually invite me to
No,
to
thanks to you
talk.
guys.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, musicians, because without you, the Salon de la Musique will not exist. So thanks to you, not thanks to me. Thank you very much. Okay, here we have
Okay.
a friend that we cannot see his name because I want to remind to our friends that if you want that we see your name, connect please on the official Salon de la Musique page. So because I don't know, Facebook does not allow us to see your name, but see you tomorrow. This is really important. See you tomorrow for.
Yeah.
Okay, bye bye. Have a nice
Okay. Bye
day,
bye.
Vic.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.